Every summer, the media talks about how corn sweat makes the Midwest miserably humid. But is that really true, or is it just a catchy headline? Well, the simple answer is actually yes. Corn sweat is actually the nickname for a real process called evapotranspiration. This process is when corn pulls water from the soil and from its roots and releases it into the air through tiny pores in its leaves. So I'm going to pull a corn plant right now so you guys can see exactly what it does. As you can see, actually here, it hasn't rained in 3 days, but there is water all from this, from evapotranspiration, if I'm not wrong. But you can see that water get pulled down and it is just soaking my hand pretty much. And I'll take this here and you can see it is wet all along. And that's because there's so much moisture around these plants that it keeps it right down here on earth. The reason it's called corn sweat is because the corn is actually sweating like us. If you can see, pull up right here, you can't see the pores, but every part of this plant and then on these leaves is evaporating, well, sweating water. And you can see I'm 6'3", and these plants are, as you saw in the intro, they are probably about 10, 12 feet tall. And I couldn't pull the roots out. You can see the roots are down here. You can see it sucks the water from the ground, and it sucks it nice and slow through the water that's stored, groundwater, just stored underneath. And it pulls it up the stem and then out the leaves up to the atmosphere. But if there's more water in the air, does it really make it feel hotter? Yes, it does. Corn doesn't actually raise the temperature, but it raises the humidity, which raises the feels like. It's just what if the temperature actually feels like to us. The heat index is what we feel, and that's exactly what corn cranks up by increasing the dew point. The dew point is the temperature at which air fully becomes saturated with water, or when dew starts to form. The reason that this is important is that this tells us how much water is actually in the air. This is why people say a dry heat doesn't feel bad. Like 90 degrees in Arizona is a lot different than 90 degrees here in Illinois on a hot summer day. Because the dew point can be 45 degrees in Arizona, but here in Illinois it can be 65, 75. 75 dew point is probably what you see around here, especially during corn sweat season. So here's the deal. Corn sweat is actually real. It's a scientific thing. Every acre, 3,000 to 4,000 gallons of water goes up each day into the atmosphere. That's what a family of 4 drinks every month, uses for bathing, everything. That's the typical water use of an American family every single month in one day for 1 acre. Considering the millions of acres of corn that are planted every year, that is billions of gallons of water in the air. People love to blame it all on corn. It's a very big buzzword in the summertime. Corn sweat, dumping trillions of gallons, billions of gallons of water in the atmosphere, but that's not all why. The problem comes when corn needs it to be hot. It's called corn sweat for a reason. The corn, since it's hot out, it sweats to cool itself. That's like saying for us, it's hot out, we sweat. Well, if it's 70 degrees, corn won't sweat that much, so a lot less water will actually go into the atmosphere. So humidity won't increase. But why would it still be humid on a regular day? Here in Illinois, humidity comes from a lot of different ways. From water just in the ground, from wet soil across the Midwest, trees, other crops, low wind speeds which keep the moisture on the ground. That's another way that humidity and moisture is trapped. But another big feeder of moisture is the Gulf to our south. Even though it's probably about almost 1,000 miles away from me at least, the jet stream and a lot of pressure systems will help bring up that moisture into my region, which will keep it humid and hot, which will make the corn sweat even more. So if you're feeling sticky on a day in July, it's not just the corn, it's weather. Now you might say, man, corn sweat is not to blame at all, but it really kind of is. I mean, trillions of gallons of water are dumped every year into the air just by corn alone. And the Gulf can bring that up itself, but corn is right here. It's exactly where we're at, and that moisture is low level, lying around the ground. That's exactly where you're going to feel it. The moisture that's brought in from the Gulf is mainly upper level. It is on the ground. Like if you have a southerly wind, it will come into the region, but that humid heat from the corn is fueling thunderstorms every single day. That's another reason why that you may be frustrated, especially as a farmer, when there's a 10% chance of rain and you get 4 inches of rain, because that moisture is right there, ready to be used. All it needs is heat through convection. I can go through convection in a later video. It's a little bit more advanced to talk about in just this video, but pretty much it's like how hot air rises and it brings that moisture up, and warmer air carries more water, more moisture. More moisture means more rain, more storms, etc. So in all, corn sweat is to blame, kind of, sort of, but you have to remember that corn sweat is actually fueled by the heat. So the hotter it is, the hotter it's going to feel like. So next time someone says, dang, this corn is really making it feel hot, you can kind of tell them, well, kind of and sort of not, but you can also verify them by saying, you're right. So it depends on how you want to take it. Again, thanks for watching. I'm just so you guys know, I am going to the University of Oklahoma in the next month or so to be a meteorology student. So I will be away from the farm. More videos will be coming, more weather-themed videos, but I also want to keep it on the farm as well. And while I'm here, might as well use the corn to my advantage and make a video to inform you and also keep me informed so I can do more research and teach myself certain things that are truth, so I can know from truth and fallacy. So thanks again for watching. I truly appreciate you guys for tuning into my videos. You can subscribe if you want more content like this, and check out my other content on my channel to see other life on the farm videos. I know those will be going away for just a little while. I'll be bringing them back probably during the winter time for chores, and during next summer or whenever I'm home, I'll be adding some videos around because I can't leave the farm. The farm is a part of me forever. But please like this video and comment any questions you may have for me or ideas for next videos. So again, thanks for watching.